2. Your ex is haunted by the way they left you. They are beginning to understand the power of the love they threw away. Archangel Michael says, the hour you never imagined would come is silently falling upon your ex, like a heavy storm that nobody can outrun. The weight of their betrayal, once hidden behind pride and stubbornness, is now crashing like waves against their soul, night after night. What they thought they abandoned so easily has turned into the greatest ghost of their own making, and there is no hiding from it anymore. Archangel Michael says, the memories of you are no longer soft echoes, they are loud, roaring, and relentless, pulling them back into the very pain they forced you to endure. Each moment they spent convincing themselves that walking away was the right decision is now slicing their heart with unbearable regret. They are starting to understand that the love they left behind was not ordinary, it was a divine force meant only for a once-in-a-lifetime blessing. Without warning, your ex is waking up in cold sweats, haunted by the dreams where you still appear, glowing in ways they never appreciated before. They are trapped in a vicious cycle of memories, your laughter, your loyalty, your forgiveness, your tears, all playing like a cruel film they can never pause or erase. No matter how far they run, no matter how deep they bury themselves in distractions, your spirit follows them like a mirror they cannot shatter. Type Amen to get blessing. March 1933. In the stillness of their nights, there is a terrifying realization sinking into their bones. They threw away the one thing that could have redeemed them. The silence you left behind is louder than any words you ever spoke, and it rings in their ears like a judgment they cannot silence. They see your face everywhere now, not as a fading memory, but as a living reminder of the purest love they squandered. Their soul, once cold and disconnected, is beginning to thaw under the burning shame that won't let them breathe easily anymore. Archangel Michael says, they tried to replace you, but no counterfeit love can ever mimic the sacred bond they destroyed with their own hands. Their friends can't save them, their ego can't protect them, and their pride has finally begun to crumble like dust in the wind. You have unknowingly become the prayer they whisper when no one is watching, the ache they hide behind a fake smile. Every song reminds them of you, every place feels empty without your presence, and every new connection feels shallow and meaningless. The universe is orchestrating a heavy, divine consequence for their actions, and your ex is learning the price of breaking something holy. Type Amen to get blessing. 888. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. Archangel Michael says. In the early mornings when the world is still asleep, they stare at their reflection and realize they don't recognize themselves anymore. The bright future they thought they would have by leaving you is now a dim, cracked reality that feels hollow and cruel. They are beginning to accept the truth the moment they walked away from you, they walked away from their own destiny. Their heart, once hardened by arrogance and selfishness, is now softened by a painful clarity that no time or distance can erase. They are being forced to relive every beautiful moment they overlooked, every small kindness they ignored, and every sacrifice they failed to honor. You were not just another chapter in their life. You were the one they were meant to build everything with, and now that truth is a blade twisting deeper each day. Even their moments of temporary happiness are invaded by flashes of your face, your voice, your unwavering loyalty. They are beginning to realize that losing you was not a simple loss, it was the beginning of their slow unraveling. Nothing they build now feels real, because the foundation of true love that you offered has been lost forever. Type Amen to get blessing 999. The angels have set into motion a silent court of justice, where every tear you cried is now being answered in divine ways they can't escape. They hear your name in conversations they aren't even part of. And it slices through their armor like a silent arrow. The friends who encouraged them to leave are now disappearing, one by one, leaving them alone with their growing shame. Archangel Michael says, "This was never your defeat, it was your divine protection in disguise. You were not abandoned, you were elevated to a level they could no longer reach because they chose their fear over your love. Now, the loneliness they tried to impose on you is their only companion, and it is far crueler than anything you ever deserved. The echoes of your prayers, the energy of your forgiveness, and the strength of your spirit have created a wall they cannot climb over. They are haunted by the knowledge that someone else will eventually recognize your worth and guard it fiercely. Unlike them." This thought alone gnaws at their sanity, and there is no peace left for them anymore. Type Amen to get blessing April 1944. At gatherings, your ex sits quietly, pretending to listen, but their mind is lost in memories of you that refuse to die. The simple way you used to look at them, the way your touch healed their wounded heart, the way your voice made the darkest days lighter, it all replays in a never-ending loop. There is no greater punishment than seeing what could have been and knowing they can never touch it again. They search for you in every new face, hoping to find even a fraction of the love they carelessly threw away. But the divine has made sure that your kind of love is rare and unreproducible. And it remains beyond their reach now. Archangel Michael says, they are finally standing in the ruins of their own making, surrounded by the ghost of the future they denied. The day they left you, they believed they were stepping toward freedom. Today, they are shackled by invisible chains of regret, tighter than any prison walls could ever be. Your love was their safe place, their sanctuary, and now it is a closed door guarded by heavenly forces. Type Amen to get blessing July 1977. They thought time would heal the guilt, but time has only magnified it. The distance they celebrated is now the sword they fall upon daily, without relief. There is no potion, no escape, no shortcut from the lesson the universe has decreed they must learn. You, on the other hand, are rising like a star, and your light is blinding to them. Every success you achieve, every new smile you wear, every new love you welcome, it is a thunderous reminder that you were never the problem. You were the gift, and they treated you like a burden. Archangel Michael says, what is happening now is not revenge, it is divine justice. You were given as a blessing, and blessings spurned become lessons learned the hardest way. Their haunted heart will wander endlessly now, because they let their treasure slip through trembling, careless hands. Even if they fall on their knees tomorrow, even if they cry rivers of sorrow, the road back to your heart is guarded by divine swords. Not because you are bitter, but because the universe protects the pure. The love you gave so freely now belongs to a greater purpose than their regret. Type Amen to get blessing June 1966. There will be days they will pick up the phone, tempted to call you, desperate to hear your voice once more. But unseen angels will block them, whispering reminders that they are not worthy of the garden they burned. There will be moments when they write you messages they never send, pouring out apologies that come too late. Each apology that dies on their lips is another chain around their soul, tightening with each missed chance. The more they try to forget you, the more you live in the spaces between their thoughts. the silences between their breaths. There is no escaping the divine mirror now reflecting back at them everything they lost. Archangel Michael says, "You have graduated from the sorrow they tried to leave you in. You have stepped into a chapter where your glow is too bright for them to endure. Their regret will be their companion through all seasons, and your healing will be your crown. The tables have turned, not by force, but by the hand of destiny. You were meant to be celebrated, cherished, and protected, not discarded like a temporary comfort. Now, they know it. Now, they must live with it." Type Amen to get blessing February 2022. No one told them that the love of a pure soul, once rejected, becomes an unstoppable force of transformation. No one warned them that in hurting you, they were setting into motion their own silent downfall. But now, every heartbeat they feel, every tear they hide, every hollow night they endure, they will remember you. You are the unfinished symphony in their heart, the art they will never complete, the home they can never return to. They are learning, slowly and painfully, that losing you was not just the loss of a person, it was the loss of a lifetime of miracles, and this lesson, written in the ink of regret, will never fade. Archangel Michael says, "Stand tall and smile without fear, for what you lost was never truly a loss. It was a divine redirection to a higher, purer love that they were never capable of handling. You are now being crowned in realms they cannot even see." Type Amen to get blessing 111. They will try to find replacements, crafting illusions with others who barely touched the surface of what you offered so naturally. But no matter how hard they try to mimic the connection, nothing feels the same, nothing fills the hollow space you left behind. The warmth, the laughter, the sense of home you gave them, these are now unreachable, fading like mirages in the desert of their own choices. They scroll through old photos secretly, hoping to feel less haunted, but every smile captured is a dagger twisting in their heart. They hear songs you once loved and freeze mid-step, unable to escape the avalanche of memories crashing down on them. Archangel Michael says, "Their days of careless living are over, the consequences of forsaking a sacred love are here, and there is no exit." They wonder if you ever think of them, if you still feel even a shred of what once burned so brightly. But what they don't realize is that your soul has already transcended the need for their apology, their explanations, or their remorse. You are no longer waiting by any door, they are the ones standing outside in the cold now, looking in at a warmth they can never touch again. Type Amen to get blessing 555. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. At night, they wrestle with the ghosts of your kindness, the gentle way you forgave even when they didn't deserve it, the understanding you offered, the patience you showed, the way you stayed loyal even when they were busy chasing illusions. Now, every fake smile they see, every shallow hug they receive, reminds them brutally that your love was once in a lifetime. They thought they were strong without you, they thought freedom meant forgetting. But they were wrong, freedom without love is just another word for emptiness. Archangel Michael says, "The tables have been turned by divine decree, and the scales of justice are tipping in your favor. Every ounce of pain you endured has now been transmuted into a powerful force that shields and elevates you." Meanwhile, they walk through the ruins of what could have been, weighed down by the heaviness of lessons they can never undo. They will tell others that they're fine, that they've moved on. But behind their bravado, there is only a hollow echo where your love used to dwell. Each smile they force, each laugh they fake, is a brittle mask over a soul consumed by regret. Type Amen to get blessing 1212. They see you blooming now, even more radiant than before, and it stings in ways they cannot admit to anyone. They notice the glow in your eyes, the peace in your aura, the quiet power in your steps, and it shatters them. Because deep down, they know they had their chance, and they destroyed it. You, who once loved them purely, now love yourself even more purely. You, who once forgave them endlessly, now protect your peace fiercely. You, who once wept over their absence, now smile in the presence of your own victories. You, however, are soaring, held aloft by unseen wings, elevated by the very love they refuse to honor. You are crossing thresholds now that they will only hear about in distant echoes. You are stepping into blessings that their energy can no longer contaminate. Type Amen to get blessing 1919. The universe gave them pure gold, and they mistook it for ordinary dust. Now they sift endlessly through gravel, hoping to find a shimmer of what they lost, but it remains forever beyond their grasp. Because your love was sacred, and sacred things are never returned once defiled. Their eyes grow dim with every fake connection, every hollow kiss, every conversation that ends in emptiness. Their soul shrinks under the weight of knowing they will never again be looked at the way you once looked at them. Archangel Michael says, you were their mirror of healing, and now they are left only with the cracked reflections of their own regret. They try to erase you by running, by hiding, by filling their days with noise and chaos. But you are the silence that remains when the noise dies down. You are the unfinished prayer on their lips, the what if that stains every goodbye they whisper now. Type Amen to get blessing 2323. Your name still lingers in places they cannot control, the whispered conversations, the late-night thoughts, the hidden regrets. Their heart betrays them every time it skips a beat at the sound of your memory. Their spirit betrays them every time it aches at the sight of someone with your smile, your kindness, your energy. But no one is you. No one ever will be. You were the home they set on fire, and now they wander through ruins they cannot rebuild. Archangel Michael says, you are a crowned warrior now, forged by fire and destined for greatness they were never strong enough to carry with you. Their absence from your journey is not a loss, but a divine subtraction. Heaven itself pulled you away from those who could not handle the sacred calling on your life. Now, they watch you from afar, unable to reach, unable to repair, unable to rewind. Their cries go unheard by the heavens because your story has already moved to a higher chapter where they cannot follow. Your spirit has closed that door with a lock only destiny holds the key to. Type Amen to get blessing 2424. At times, they may feel the urge to message you, to offer half-hearted apologies, to open old wounds, to seek forgiveness they don't fully understand. But the universe shields you now, placing an invisible wall of protection around your peace. What was once accessible is now guarded by the very angels who watched you cry in silence and chose to lift you beyond their reach. They will sit in rooms crowded with people and still feel the vast emptiness that your absence has carved into their soul. They will achieve small victories and feel the hollow echo of knowing you are not there to share them. Archangel Michael says, their sorrow will not be your burden anymore. It is theirs to carry, theirs to learn from, theirs to heal alone. The lessons they refused to learn when you were present will now be carved into their spirit with painful precision. You, meanwhile, are flourishing like a garden tended by divine hands, growing toward a sun they can no longer bask under. And every time they see your light, it will remind them of the garden they abandoned for deserts of regret. Type Amen to get blessing 2525. Your laughter will become a melody that follows them through dreams and waking hours alike. Your smile will become a ghost that haunts the empty spaces between their shallow relationships. Your love, once taken for granted, will become the standard by which they measure every lesser connection they forge from now on. They will wonder if they ever truly deserved you, and the brutal truth will echo within they did not. Not because you were too much, but because they chose to be too little. Archangel Michael says, they underestimated your heart. And now they must live with the wound their own hands created. They may tell themselves you moved on too quickly, they may lie to themselves that you never loved them as deeply as they imagined. But deep down, in the silent chambers of their soul, they know you were the realest thing they ever had, and they destroyed it. Type Amen to get blessing 2626. The roads they walk now are lonely, lined with missed opportunities and haunted by echoes of your laughter. They see shadows of you everywhere in passing strangers, in the smiles of children, in the random kindness of others, but no matter how far they wander, no one will ever carry the key to their healing like you once did. Archangel Michael says, you are being raised on wings of golden light, lifted higher with every tear you once shed. The scars they left behind have become marks of beauty, stories of triumph, testimonies of survival. You have not only survived, you have transcended, and your glow is unbearable for those who try to dim it. You are destined for a love that mirrors your own heart, a love so deep, so pure, so fierce that it makes every betrayal pale into insignificance, and when that love comes, it will be a thunderous reminder to your ex that the treasure they discarded has now been enshrined in a palace they cannot enter. You will be unreachable, not because you built walls, but because you soared to heights they could never climb. Type Amen to get blessing 2727.